Hey everybody, it's John again, Contract Diagnostics. A question today on side gigs, and it's a simple one. Are side gigs usually permitted? So we see in contracts all the time clauses called exclusivity clauses. There'll also be things that say no outside activities, right? They'll also say you need to get permission for doing anything. Now, so most of the time side gigs are not allowed. If you're an independent contractor, they shouldn't be restricting what you can do in your spare time. But as an employee, they may say we want your exclusive services. Now, what does that mean? It's important to understand the contract terms on exclusivity. Is it exclusive period? You can't work anywhere else. You can't open up a taco shop or do rental properties. Or is it specific to medicine? If it's specific to medicine, is it patient care only? Or is it all things that a physician would do? If it's physician services, is it hospital? If you're a hospitalist, is it hospital care or could you do telehealth? So again, understanding how specific your terminology is in your contract and what you can and can't do is vital if these things are important to you. So is it any activity, period, no matter what? Is it prohibited or can you get approval for them? Is it any medical activity? Is it any medically related activity? Is it any patient care reactivity? I think those are all things that you should ask yourself. Now, if it does say that you cannot do outside activities without their permission, let's find out what they need to hear from you. So most of the time, employers look for three things. They look for A, is it in your spare time? They look for B, do you have separate malpractice insurance to cover you because theirs won't, if it's required, of course. And then the other thing they look for is it competitive? Is there any conflicts of interest? So if you're going and doing moonlighting at the facility next door, maybe they don't want you to do that because you know a lot about their business and you don't want to share it with the competitor. Obviously, if you're working telehealth for patients in Arizona and you're a ambulatory physician in Minnesota, you've got separate malpractice insurance and you're doing it on your vacation weeks to earn a couple of bucks to pay down your student loans, they shouldn't have a problem with that. But you may still need to get permission even if there's no conflicts, even if you do have private insurance for malpractice, and even if it is in your spare time. So figure out who makes those decisions. If these things are important to you, feel free to get pre-approval. So maybe you want to do outside activities, it's important to you, but the contract says you can't. Well, let's figure out what the process is. Let's talk to that individual before you sign the contract, and let's get a piece of paper that says it's with mutual consent that you can do these things in your spare time, so long as there's no conflict and as long as you've got malpractice insurance. You could even list the separate entities that you already have relationships with or contracts with. So maybe you're going to work at facility A and facility B and facility C. Maybe you get those three facilities approved and other facilities would require additional approval. So if outside activities are important to you, if side gigs are something that you think would be interesting, fun, or just a good way to make some extra money, let's make sure we understand what our contract says because there's lots of talk around side gigs right now and most every contract we see prohibits it without the right approval. So let's have conversations with the employer and see what they require. If you guys need anything else, contractor compensation wise, reach out to us at Contract Diagnostics. We're always around. Have a great rest of the day.